lot of realtors are walking this way, and I'm just going to ask if they know how to house homeless veterans. Do you know how to house homeless veterans?
No.
No.
Okay.
I sadly do not.
I do not, but I would love to learn.
I do not.
I do not, but I would like to know how.
The answer to that is no.
No. Do you know how to house homeless veterans?
I do not.
I do not.
Do you know how to house a homeless veteran?
He's a veteran and he would be
Come
homeless
here.
if I did not house.
Okay. We're here at the Capitol, Illinois State Capitol. This is the lobby day for realtors. And I did make an announcement on the bus about my 3-hour course that I wrote to teach realtors how to work effectively with a homeless veteran. Just because the veteran is homeless doesn't mean they don't have resources to use to get housed or to get anything else they need, because they do. But how do you get to those resources to help that homeless veteran get housed? I've got the class and it'll be out soon. Well, I should say the book is out. The class is revamping, not the class. The class needs to be at least a 6-hour class, because what I found all of these years in working in the community as a veterans homeless, homeless veterans housing realtor. It wasn't many of us. It wasn't many of us, and it still isn't many of us, because realtors don't know how to get paid. Realtors, and it's unfortunate, but it's the truth. You say the word homeless, and you're automatically thinking there's no money. So how am I supposed to get paid? That's number one. We can't work for free. If we work for free, we'll be homeless too. And how will we be effective housing homeless veterans if we ourselves were homeless? Well, my name is Yvette Jones Swanson, and I am the National Veterans Homeless Housing Advocate, Realtor, and professional services in the GovCon space. And I have housed homeless veterans for the past 22 plus years, from homeless through transition to rentals using HUD-VASH and various SSVF organizations, to home ownership using their VA home loan. I'm also a veteran. And I say homeless a lot because I was a homeless veteran. And when I became a realtor, I've been a realtor now for 29 years. And as a homeless veteran turned realtor, I'm like, hey, I navigated through that system. I know where you are, and I know where you're trying to go, and I know how to get you there. Because you see, there is funding in this homeless veterans community. You say, that what are you talking about? Funding? Well, you've heard of Section 8. You probably heard of Section 8. It's a lot of information going back and forth with who's going to be kicked off Section 8 in 2 years, or they have a 2-year, I don't know, live on Section 8 for 2 years, and then you got to have gotten yourself your whole life together by then, and you can pay your own rent. So that's Section 8. But Section 8 has been around for a long time. HUD-VASH, the voucher that we're talking about specifically for veterans, that's the Veteran Assisted Supportive Housing Voucher. So that's the name of that voucher, VASH. And it's specific to veterans and or, with the veterans family. So that's part of the funding that an investor could look forward to receiving his or her rent from on a monthly basis. Then we have what's called SSVF, Supportive Services for Veteran Families. That's a lot of money, to put it mildly. and I should have gotten this before I got on live so I don't have to turn my back on you. But on August 27th, 2025, there was $818 million in grants to 235 organizations across the country to help veterans who are homeless or at risk of becoming homeless. VA awards grants based on a number of factors. And I don't have on my glasses, so I'm just really barely seeing this. And the words are scrolling together now. But the areas that this $818 million over 235 organizations across United States of America covers is the following: housing and housing counseling. And that's what we're here to talk about, housing our homeless veterans using $818 million in your community. Do you know where this money is? You probably do not, because this money is not advertised on a daily basis. It doesn't, the organizations on this list, they don't have a sign on a bus that rolls up and down the street talking about, hey, we just got awarded $2,500,000 for homeless veterans in Charlottesville, Virginia. You're not going to see that. You're not going to see these organizations on a billboard. So you ask me, Yvette, well, how do the veterans connect with these organizations? Yeah, you would ask me that. Yeah, you would, as you should. And as you should also go to my bio and click the link and grab one of my publications to teach you how to find these resources. Because in 15 minutes, I'm not going to do that. We don't have enough time for that. So for you community member who want to help homeless veterans in your community, go get the publication Finding Home. And this is the nationwide resource guide for supporting homeless veterans. So you can go and support those veterans in your community. I've been housing homeless veterans going through their transition to home ownership for 22 consecutive years, plus an additional, we had that time off during COVID. This is my library that I took time after all of my sicknesses and diseases, from a heart attack, COVID-19, pneumonia, and a stroke. And I wasn't housing 5,000 additional homeless veterans. I was writing the blueprints so you can learn how to do the same thing in your community. So for those who say, I want to house homeless veterans and open a home for them, transitional, go get the book, A Guide to Veterans Shared Housing Models. And all of my publications are in my bio and on Amazon. For realtors, that I'm working with the coach now, thank God. I'm doing a master class, even though this book has already been approved by the IDFPR. That's the Illinois Department of Financial Rules and Professionalism, something like that, IDFPR. And it was also approved for a 3-hour course, but I did the course as a pilot, and 3 hours just wasn't enough to teach a realtor how to do what I do, housing over 5,000 homeless veterans and making a 6-figure income many of those years doing it. And you say that, where's the money? It's all over the place. Finding Home is for those who say, I want to help homeless veterans. How does a community get involved helping homeless veterans? How can organizations get involved helping homeless veterans? Read the book. I also wrote a book helping veterans go from boots to business. You want to know how can you use your gifts and your passions in business that other people will pay you for because that's your professional passion and you deserve to get paid for that. My professional passion is housing homeless veterans. I just can't get enough. At 18 or 19, when I came home from the military, I became homeless shortly after that. So this is what I do. I have a passion for it to help other veterans and now to help the community learn how to help homeless veterans and other veterans receive the services that they need so that they won't be homeless. I wrote this book for social workers, case managers, and human care professionals. It's the collaborative housing solutions for homeless veterans. Learn to do this instead of telling the veteran, hey, you can leave now because you don't fit the checklist that I have for HUD-VASH, or you don't fit the checklist that I have for, I don't know, any other agency that's here in front of me on my desk. So I have nothing to service you, but you really do. You really do. We have an accumulation of 235 organizations in our cities, in our towns. And then the government said, wait a minute, that's not enough. $818 million isn't enough. We need to award them an additional, wait a minute, an additional 84, wait a minute, an additional $84 million to an additional 176 organizations. So you ask me, Yvette, where's the money? How can we help? Get the books to learn, because one thing I don't do is just open a page and read. You want to learn anything else, you go do that. So please go get some books and learn. You'll support me and my business, and you'll also help support your community. I also wrote a book for entrepreneurs who tell me all the time that I'm a nurse and I'm going to be licensed. Well, get this book, because this guides you through the licensing of becoming a licensed veteran care entrepreneur. Okay. And then I'm still looking for sponsors for the Chicago Veterans Resource Guidebook. So if you are a business in the Chicagoland area or a nationwide business, and you can help support veterans here in the Chicagoland area, then you can sponsor that book. Also, hold on a second. I was in Women's World magazine. So this one is off the shelf now. However, I'm still in this magazine on page 52. So if you happen to pick one up with Gloria Estefan on the front, get it and turn to page 52, because here is my story. Thank you very much. And let me go ahead and thank you all for jumping on today. And really all this week is going to be about getting educated. It's getting educated. You can ask me any questions that you want to ask me, but I'm going to point you right back to my educational series. Let's see, we have 3 comments here from YouTube. Thank you all for watching. How can realtors better support veterans transitioning out of homelessness? I'm going to point you right back to the education. A Realtor's Blueprint, the Veteran's Path to Home, navigating the journey from homelessness to home ownership. That's how realtors can better support veterans transitioning out of homelessness. Getting this book and reading it. Thanks for that wonderful question and helping me plug that book. What's the biggest challenge you see in veterans housing today? That's another thing we're going to be talking about on Thursday's live. So make sure you're here Thursday, because we are going to be talking about these challenges that veterans face while looking for housing. What's the biggest challenge you see in veterans housing today? So I'm talking about homeless veterans. That's what I talk about. That's my specialty, and that's what I work in every single day. So the biggest challenge I see in veterans housing today is working with the programs that the veterans currently have access to. Realtors and investors and builders and property owners first of all, everybody's working on the same outdated systems and not taking into account who are we serving. If you can turn your lips up to say we shouldn't have homeless veterans, and you're a realtor, you're part of the problem. If you can turn your lips up to say, and you are an investor or a builder, and you own these properties and you have control over these properties, and you say we shouldn't have homeless veterans, and they're not living in your properties with guaranteed rents, then you're part of the problem. The problem is too many barriers. It's too much red tape. If these veterans have already been screened through the VA, through HUD, HUD, the Housing Urban Development, they've already gone through so many checks and balances. Just for them to say, okay, we're going to give you a voucher so you won't be homeless. And this voucher is specific for that veteran. That's why it's called veterans. It's the VASH. The V is for veteran. So you have this voucher in your hand, and it'll pay for a 2-bedroom apartment, condo, or house in your city or your state. And you go sit down with the realtor, and the realtor say, oh, first of all, you homeless, so you don't have a current address. Okay, now we get past that. Now we know. Second thing is, and you want to see this apartment, then you have to fill out this application. Okay, that's fine. But now the challenge, the roadblock is, you got to do a credit check. And not only that, your credit has to be 675. Well, you're already denied. Who kept up with credit as a homeless veteran when your day-to-day is survival? That's a challenge. Your background check. I house veterans who were incarcerated, and now they have a voucher so that they won't be homeless. But because they were incarcerated and now it's going on an application, they are denied, even though they have a HUD-VASH voucher that was issued to them by the government for housing so that veteran won't be homeless. Those are some of the challenges that are very big in our community. Thanks for asking that question. We have over here, let me see, on YouTube. Thank you all for watching. If you have not liked my channel, please do so at the time and click that bell so that you can be notified. And please come on come on when I'm here and interact like you're doing. Thank you so much. Thank you for doing this live. Veterans need voices like you, like us. Yay! Thank you, Jennifer. Yes, you are absolutely right. And I hope you go to my bio and grab some publications so that you can learn this stuff. It is so fantastic. Thank you for that. Let me see. Fantastic show. Grateful for your leadership and passion. Oh, thanks, James Show. You're always here. Thank you so much. Do you sell your library as a package deal? If so, I don't sell them as a package deal. They're on Amazon, and that's where they are. I haven't gotten that high tech yet. My apologies. My apologies. But you know what? I do consider them to be an encyclopedia. How can small real estate firms join the fight to end veteran homelessness? Hey, Cody, thanks for being here. So, Cody, I will come to your office and teach this class. I'm also my coach just told me today, Yvette, remember, you're responsible for giving me 2 master classes. And the second one is a Realtor's Blueprint. So the Realtor's Blueprint, your office can buy the book now, and you can also hire me to come and teach your class. Uh-oh. Yes. So, thanks for that. And I believe that is all. Let me see. Do we have any questions, comments, concerns from TikTok? I would have to scroll all the way up. But I want to thank you all over here on YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook for being here this evening. And you know where to go. My bio. And also Amazon, just type in my name, my full name, and everything will come up. All right. Thanks for watching. I'm going to play the outro, and we're going to go from there. Oh, wait a second. I wanted to play one more video before we did that. These are two veterans. So I'm going to show you all a video real quick of two veterans. And I want you all to pay real attention to these two. Actually, it's three veterans, but two of the veterans are two of them who I housed. All right. Over 5,000 homeless veterans housed. Hey, Mr. Bain, how are you?
Well, how are you?
Excellent. Tell the people what you want to say.
Young Yvette here's housed so many veterans. She's helped me so much. And now I bump into her over here, Jesse Brown.
It's so good to see you. I'm going to show him your hat because you are a Navy man.
Yes, I am.
A proud Navy man. I'm so proud of you. I'm going to go holler at Bob. These are two of the veterans that I housed. Just met in the hallway. That's it. Go, don't run nobody over. Yes, it is. Who? You can stand up now. Look at you. Look at you. Don't do. You coming?
Yeah, I can't get my mind focused on getting a house.
Yes, we can get you a house. That brightened my day. I was about to cry. I'll tell y'all that story later. Yeah, so I was conducting veterans housing and home buying workshops at the VA for 13 years. And as of this year, new administration and whatever, they said, you can't come back, and because they got rid of so many people. And I was a volunteer. Nobody paid me to go to the VA or to the vet centers or to Cook County Corrections or the federal prison, all the municipal. Nobody paid me for that. I'm a realtor, but I also know the importance of educating our community. And that's why I have this publication series. So there's another question that came in. Which housing tools or publications do you recommend most for realtors? For realtors, a Realtor's Blueprint and the 3rd edition Veterans Buying Real Estate Guide for today's market, because this is actually my entire workshop in a book that I did at the VA and all of those other facilities. So a Realtor's Blueprint and this one. Now, if the realtor has never worked with veterans before, Finding Home. This one will get you in the mind of a veteran. This will get you in the space of where you need to take a veteran. This one will too, but this one also will get you to know, what do veterans really need? What's the need? So this is the whole book that'll teach you about finding their resources. Thanks for that awesome question. And all of them are in my bio. So just go to my bio and click the link, or just go, straight to Amazon and type in my name as you see it right there. That's my name, Yvette Jones Swanson. we have so much to do in this homeless veterans community. And with everybody, I'm not even going to say everybody, because I did the math once and it was like 66, because it's, what was it, 1.2 million? I forget. I had Alexa tell me how many agents there were in United States, right? And then how many homeless veterans there were in United States that were counted. Because you can't even count all of them, because you just don't know where they all are. So, but for the ones that were counted, it was like 66 agents to one homeless veteran. And if you housed homeless veterans the way I housed homeless veterans, we would not have homeless veterans in the United States of America. Because it doesn't take all of that. It doesn't take all of those roadblocks. It doesn't take all that red tape. If a veteran has a voucher and there's an empty unit, you know what? That's priority. I'm just saying. Guaranteed rent. And because you turned up your lips to say, oh, we shouldn't have homeless veterans, what's the government doing about it? The government is showing you that they put money in the community. But because you want to be stubborn and say we need a 675 credit score, we need perfect this and perfect that. I was a homeless female veteran. And the same thing that's happening today happened to me when I was going out looking for housing. I got so many derogatory comments towards me. Now, one time my sister and I, the one who was homeless with me, we went out looking for a 2-bedroom together, and we both had city government jobs. I worked for the city and the Department of Revenue. She was at the library. We could afford the rent. The rent was like $750 back then. Oh, you pay half, I pay half. We even picked out our rooms, one on that side of the house, the apartment, and the other one around the other way. We were accused of being an LGBTQ plus couple. I'm like, what? No, it's my sister and we're just looking for housing. How can you discriminate? What? Oh, yeah. Credit and application fees, and oh, you haven't been on your job long enough. We didn't have a voucher. I'm a realtor and I've housed over 5,000 homeless veterans, and a lot of them, I would probably say 95% of them had a voucher. I never had a voucher, but I know how to house using that voucher. With investors in the community who has low barrier entry, I had an investor on here live yesterday. Go back and watch it. She's been with me. She says, Yvette, I'm not your client anymore. We're partners. We do this together. And she is absolutely right. She'll call me and say, Yvette, I have a two-bedroom. What floor? Second, first, I got you. Who do you have living in your building now? Oh, all seniors? Okay, I got you. Does she want a credit check? No. I housed the veteran in her building. He stayed there 5 years as a homeless veteran. At the time, he did not have credit. He told her that. He said, I want to thank you for allowing me to live here. At the time, I didn't have credit. Turned around and I sold him a house. Hold on. He's in this book right here. So make sure you get the 3rd edition, Veterans Buying Real Estate Guide for Today's Market. I even have where is he? There he is. There he is. Right. Let me see. Put it in the camera. Right there. Right there. Walking into his house that he purchased with his VA loan. So he literally went from being a homeless veteran, a veteran receiving, he went to transitional housing as well. He was in some transitional facility. Went to rentals using his HUD-VASH voucher. go to the live I did just yesterday, and you'll meet his former landlord. And then I sold him the house that you just saw him sticking his key in. You want to learn to do what I do? Get the books. What's up here is on paper. Flip until I figure out how to do audio. It's all a process. Thank y'all for being here. I appreciate you. Have an amazing evening.
Across America, too many of our heroes return home only to face another battle, the fight for stable housing. Veterans are overrepresented in the homeless population, often caught in a system that is complex, slow, and full of barriers. At VetMentors, we're changing that narrative. For over 20 years, we've been boots on the ground, not just identifying the problem, but building real solutions. That's why we created the U.S. Military Veterans Educational and Resource Guide book series, a groundbreaking collection designed to educate, equip, and empower. These guidebooks are written not only for veterans, but also for the communities, organizations, and leaders who serve them. From step-by-step housing models to funding strategies, this series gives social workers, case managers, realtors, and first responders the tools they need to act with speed, dignity, and impact. VetMentors believes housing is not charity. It's a mission, a responsibility, and a pathway to restoring honor. Every guidebook in this series is a resource designed to make sure no veteran is left behind, and no community has to say, "We didn't know how to help." This is how we turn challenges into victories. I'm Yvette Jones Swanson, Army veteran, CEO of VetMentors LLC, and I invite you to join us in rewriting the story for America's veterans.